All right, what's going on, boys? We got yet another winning trade recap coming at you for Wednesday, June 10th. Took a win yesterday, took a win today. This was about a 1.4 RR trade to this 4-hour gap, and I did record the live executions as well. With a little bit of live analysis, I did run through some brief thoughts when I was entering the trade and during the trade. So going to go over the daily bias as always and then hop into that live recording. So market opened here. This is what we look like on market open. Kind of a complex one. We had draws higher and lower, and then we had this 1 hour gap, which was basically my condition. I said, let's see. Wouldn't mind running through the 1 hour gap to tap the 4-hour SIBI, and take all of this built up low resistance liquidity, which is exactly what we got. But we had this 1 hour gap, like I said, that was holding, and I wanted to see us run through this area in price in order to target this 4-hour gap and to run all this low resistance liquidity. And then you can see this dashed line here above this internal high. I would want to see us get sufficient good candle closes above this area and price to confirm the draw higher. And that's essentially what we got. I also said there was potential to hold this 1 hour gap and potentially target lower. But we just have to wait for price to tell us exactly what it wants to do. And like I said, yeah, we had that 1 hour gap. It's not marked out anymore, but I can mark it out here. And we had this internal high. So we ran through the 1 hour gap and closed above the internal high. We can see this 15-minute candle, the first 15-minute candle market open, runs through this hourly gap, like I said, holds this bullish 15-minute gap, and then basically this is your market structure shift, your internal high that we displace through and close above. And this candle close right here confirms the move and the draw on liquidity higher. So after this candle close, I then set a limit order for a 1.2 RR and a place where I'm content with the risk. I want to have a safe stop loss below this internal low that was just put in. This low should not get taken if my draw on liquidity is correct. Market structure has shifted. And then also, I talked about this in the live recording. Equilibrium of this next leg up was right here within this 1 minute fair value gap. So it took a little bit of time to play out fully once I got filled here. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and throw in the live executions right here. All right, want to see continuation higher to the 4-hour gap. Also just tapped equilibrium of this range. Very clean 15-minute candle, 5-minute candle closes, confirming the draw on liquidity higher. Break even point then becomes this internal high that was put in. All right, I'm break even. We should flush through this internal high here. Well, I don't like that wick of the internal high, that's for sure.
Order filled.
So yeah, dude, got my coffee. It was taking forever, and honestly, thought it was taking forever. Thought we could get tapped at break even. Wasn't really too sure, and I was just tired of sitting through this chop. So I went to, I had my subs at break even. Went to go make some coffee. How long was this, bro? It took 33 minutes to take the draw on liquidity. Yeah, it's 188 points away, but with the way that we were moving, like this is a 300-point move by itself. With the way that we were moving, I was really surprised it took this long to eventually make its way to the 4-hour gap, but we eventually did do so. Um, like I said, just made sense. It was a good target for this morning. Even if we're going to continue lower, it made sense to have a retracement after yesterday's big sell-off. We also have tapped into this weekly bullish fair value gap, and we kind of swept this liquidity within it. And you can see this big rejection wick from this area and price. So it made sense to get a retracement of some sorts, even if all we're going to do is tap that 4-hour gap and then continue lower. And I would have confidence at this point in continuing lower to this sell side potentially and continuing the sell off. This would become the market structure shift. If, like, let's say on the 1-hour chart we come down and close below here, then this would become your market maker sell model. But as for today, today was an internal market maker buy model to this 4-hour gap. Market structure shift, like I said, is confirmed after this displacement candle above this internal high. So really clean stuff. Not going to drag this video out too long. As always, copy trade across all 3 of these accounts, and we have 4 out of 5 winning days. Like I said, still have the balance and everything blurred out, but I know that I have 4 out of 5 winning days, and so the way that I'm going to treat it is just trading normally, taking a normal trade, and let's say, boom, let's say I take a long here, and my break-even point is this internal high. Let's say this is my typical break-even point. Let's say that the drawn liquidity is up here. Whenever I go break-even, let's say my entry was right here. Instead of going fully break-even, like normal break-even, my break-even point will just be a little bit higher at wherever that $150 mark is. So gonna treat it like a normal trade. I think that's the easiest way to go about it, in my opinion. Don't want to switch anything up. So gonna treat it like a normal trade. And I would say the probabilities of going $150 into profit are pretty high. So gonna treat everything normally. If I go break even on a trade, my break even point is just gonna be that $150 winning day mark, and that's how I'm going to go about it. So yeah, man, that's a trade recap. Back-to-back winning trades. So 2 good moving days this week. It's only Wednesday. There's max going to be 1 more day, in my opinion, that we get good moving, efficient price action. However, with that being said, I am fully content with this week. I am up a significant amount this week. So definitely not going to force anything. Going to be extra picky. Unless we get a day like today where the draw on liquidity is just so clear and we confirm it with high time frame closes. Like on a day like today when we get this move and I'm begging for a retrace because the draw on liquidity is so clear. Those are the days where I need to be slapping on risk and putting risk on the table. Days like today, days like yesterday. So that's all I got. That's a trade recap for me. Just gonna stay in that flow state, not think about things too much, and just keep doing what I'm doing. So I've been really disciplined for the most part, and I just want to keep this ball rolling in the right direction. But like I said, it's always easy to execute and take winning trades. So days like today are the easy part of trading. It's the days where there's not much opportunity. Are you going to force something? Are you going to have the discipline and the patience to sit back and not put on risk when opportunity isn't present? And more of a defensive mindset going on throughout the rest of this week. We'll see what happens, and just going to keep doing me. So if you took a trade or not, let me know in the comments if you took a long to this 4-hour gap. Pretty clear in my opinion. And other than that, code FST on all your favorite prop firms: Alpha Futures, Tradeify, Lucid, code FST. Links for those will be in the description below as well. If you want to join the free Discord, it'll be the first link in the description as well. Post my bias for free every single morning in the market updates channel. And that's all I got. So I appreciate you watching, and I will see y'all tomorrow in tomorrow's market recap. Peace.